Back pain can strike at any time after lifting, working around the house, or simply sitting too much at your desk at work. There are steps we can take to help keep our backs healthy. Chris Gerbeck, an athletic trainer who works in Essentia Health's occupational medicine department, is here to give us some tips. And thank you very much for joining us here today.
Well, thanks, Michelle.
First off, are we doing things every day that could put a strain on our backs and cause problems?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just sitting here speaking, if we're here for a long period of time, eventually we're going to potentially develop some back pain. Just from sitting here, we can get sore in our low back.
Mm-hmm. So it's just the gravitational or maybe the positioning of how we sit?
Yeah, and I think part of it is just we like to stay in static positions too long. Mm-hmm. And then so what happens, our body starts barking at us. We ignore it. We keep doing what we're doing, and that's when that pain sets in later on.
Okay, what should we be aware of, say, as we sit at our office desks?
Well, I think just listen to the body warning signs. I like to call body awareness. When areas of the body starts, and I said earlier, it starts barking at you, it's time to get up and move. It's time to stretch. We got to do something. That's telling you, your body's telling you that, hey, I'm here too long, I'm sore, I need to get up.
So maybe up every hour or so, walking, going to the water cooler?
That is a great example. Going to the copier, water cooler, whether you're going to the restroom. But I always tell people one time every 30 to 40 minutes we need to get up and just move and groove.
Mm-hmm. And when you tell them it's that simple, what do they have to say?
They look at me kind of funny and go, I don't have time like that. And I said, well, actually, we do.
You have to start building that time in if you want to maintain your back health.
Absolutely.
So are there some steps we can take to keep our backs feeling good, even, as I said, at a desk job? Are there certain exercises or things that we should keep in mind?
Well, absolutely. And I think just getting up, standing, I like to refer to hitting the reset button on our computer. We can do that ourselves, and just standing up and maybe just do some simple stretching. We can actually do some head and neck exercises, some shoulder rolls where we're getting back forward and backwards. We can actually do some neck stretching that just helps with the neck. Because a lot of us, when we're sitting doing a desk job, we're looking at our computer a lot. We're looking at that screen. We get sucked into that monitor and don't even know it.
Certainly. We start leaning forward. We start tensing up, and those
Correct.
things can really add up to some big problems.
Absolutely.
Now, what about our necks? Is there a certain exercise or stretching that would be simple in an office setting?
Well, my three favorite exercises you can do sitting at your desk are just ear to shoulder or side bending. Again, holding for about 10 to 15 seconds. Also rotating to the right and to the left. And also my favorite is actually what I call the nose to armpit, where actually just bringing your nose right down to your armpit and back to starting. And if you want to make it more fun with your coworkers, you can always lift the arm up and go, what's going on out there? People really like that one.
And certainly, and maybe you could have a contest. Maybe you could get the whole office involved.
Oh, absolutely. I've coined it the Office Olympics. And because it makes it fun, people want to know what's going on. And then when you tell them I'm just trying to stretch and be flexible and I'm a little tight and sore, people are like, oh, yeah, I need to do that too.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a look at some examples of stretching exercises that can help you maintain a healthy back.
You can do simple exercises, just hands up overhead, go and get a good stretch and look upwards at the sky, come back down. We can also do an arm across and do an upper body stretch. You definitely want to go both sides. Another thing to do is hands up in the air. We can side bend to the right. We can side bend to the left. Simple things like that. We can also get into some shoulder rolls, forward and backwards. And actually, even alternating backwards is a good thing to do. Bringing the shoulders together, pulling the shoulders back. It's another good thing. All exercises, stretches, I like to encourage folks 2 to 3 repetitions to each direction and 10 to 15 second holds. Well, a big thing, too, about being at a desk, I always tell people you need to get up. You need to get up. So a lot of those exercises that you did sitting down, and some of them you can also do standing up, you get a better stretch, deeper stretch where you can go into extension with the arms up and over. I like working my side a little bit more when I'm standing and doing things like that. But another great thing you can do is bend over just touching your toes. Back and forth. That's another great exercise to get the whole core and upper body. And I'm a big fan of the upper body stretch. I call it the camping stretch, where then I pull my shoulders back and I bring my elbows together to get the shoulder girdle region moving and grooving. Boom, just like that. And I'm a big fan of just almost like doing the hokey pokey, you shaking all balls to do the Elvis move. I'm a big fan of doing the Elvis. It actually gets the ankle circles, gets the knees, gets the hips. When we go back to sitting down in your chair, some simple things we can do. On the edge of your chair, you can actually stretch your hamstring on the edge by putting one leg out, getting like that. You can also bring single knee to chest, where you can bring your knee up towards you, a simple thing that you can do at your desk. Another good one is a hip rotator stretch, sitting at your desk. You can actually just push your knee out and pull your knee towards you. Helps stretch out some low back and some hip activity. Some people like to call this the golfer stretch.
Oh, Chris, those are really some good ideas, and they don't look like they'd be too difficult to do in a workplace setting.
Oh, not at all. Very easy, and it's in the confines of your own little workspace and cubicle. It works just fine. And like I said earlier, just getting up and moving. That's the biggest thing that us desk jockeys don't do enough of, is get up and move.
And I'm sure that you're probably energized after you do all those things.
Oh, absolutely. There's a good release of endorphins. We're breathing. We're getting it. Just like, all right, I'm ready to get back to that work I was just doing.
Absolutely. So what about lifting? A lot of us have to lift on the work site or at home, or just lifting a baby. What things should we keep in mind?
Well, I think the big thing is just don't forget to contract your abdominals before you lift, push or pull. Great example you brought up about lifting children. I have twins at home, so I'm going down and I'm lifting my children, but I'm using my legs to lift, not my back. And I get down in a modified squat position. I lift up my kids to keep them close, and actually have saved my back quite a bit, and my wife's back too.
So I've heard examples of people how they've pulled out their back simply by taking a curtain and closing a curtain. It's just that they didn't have that firm footing and they weren't in the proper position?
Yeah, you could have been an awkward, or you got yourself outstretched too far, and that caused some issues. And when you get outstretched and stuff like that, and you're trying to lift something heavy, it's like when you increase that lever arm of your body, it can give you a little bit of issue in the low back, and even the mid back and upper back. So again, the biggest thing to remember is try to keep, when you're lifting items, keep those items in close. You don't want to twist with the load. You want to pivot. And don't forget to move your feet.
And engage those abs.
That's right. Contract those abdominals.
Now, do you work with patients who injure their backs on the job, and what are some of the common causes there?
Well, again, some awkward positioning, static postures. I see a lot of people that not only were helping lift a patient, but also people that are sitting at a desk. So it can be just from poor posture, poor lifting mechanics.
So the takeaway message here is do your stretching every 45 minutes or so, and make sure you engage those abs when you do engage in lifting and things like that.
Absolutely. And I think another thing to take away is that no matter an acute back injury, the biggest key is to keep moving and grooving. If you sit down and lay down on the couch and do nothing, you're going to be stiffer and sore later on.
Some wonderful tips. Thank you very much, Chris. We appreciate you being here this evening.
Thank you, Michelle.
Okay. And thank you for joining us for another edition of Healthy Living, brought to you by Essentia Health. If you miss an episode, it's easy to catch them online at Essentia's new YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Essentia Health. We'll be back the last Monday in April to talk about cancer survivorship. More people are living longer now after a diagnosis of cancer. Find out what that means for their ongoing health care, along with the social and psychological implications. And we'll talk about the wide range of support available locally for cancer survivors. You have a great night, and take care.
Healthy Living is brought to you by Essentia Health.